Hello, welcome to MCFC9320 Group TV Podcast. This week we've got the ever reliable AnnMarie, ever reliable Aleks, ever reliable John, and we've got Riz. Good evening, guys.
Good evening,
Nancy.
How are we?
Good evening.
How are we?
Thank you for that amazing introduction.
What happened, Paul?
When?
Why was you with us last week?
Well, I kind of had a few friends round, socially distancing, of course. And
He's lying straight away when he says he's got friends.
Acquaintances then. All right, friends of the missus. They came round. I got absolutely leathered on 2 cans of cider. It's 5 o'clock, a podcast not till 8, I'll be all right. Shut my eyes for a split second. I shut my eyes. Woke up at 10 o'clock. It gutted, really.
Well, you should have joined us. We were still going at 10 o'clock.
It wouldn't surprise me. Plenty to talk about.
So, I tell you what, we'll start off with the PSG second leg. We'll start off with a real positive, Aleks?
Yeah. I was watching with my friend the match, and I think the defense was absolutely the key. That's the first point, and the second point is PSG were absolutely pathetic. I mean, when they conceded the second goal and they started fouling and doing some nasty stuff, I was really disappointed because honestly, I regard them as a top-class club. They're always in the Champions League. They were in the finals last year to have one of the best squads in the world, and they acted like just a bunch of idiots.
Be careful, Aleks.
Idiots, yeah.
Petulant schoolboy.
Petulance.
Especially Neymar, who's supposed to be one of the best players in the world. For me, he's just a petulant child, rolling all over. I'm surprised his shirt's not made, and his shorts are not made of grass, so he can camouflage himself in. He is absolutely shocking. I don't doubt that he's not a great player, but he's probably a great player in a very, very poor league, AnnMarie.
I think I'd possibly be inclined to agree, but I think he's definitely, I think the game the other night, they definitely missed Mbappe, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that would have made any difference necessarily because we looked like nothing was going to get through us. Diaz had the most amazing game. Anything that came near him, he blocked. But there's little things, like you say, I mean, the way they appealed for that penalty against Zinchenko was a joke. It was never a handball in a million years, and yet they appealed for it. And that's one of the things. Something I'm starting to notice more and more. Some of these teams, the way they surround the ref every time they want a decision, and it's not something that we generally do.
We've not seen that since the 90s with United, have we?
No,
not really.
I thought the ref had a belting game, to be honest. I think he dealt with it really well. I mean, there was a lot of people going on about the handball early on, where it's his shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I think the referee used VAR exactly how it should be used. He might have been slightly unsighted, not 100% sure. So he went to the screen, he had a look. It took him a second to decide, and he made the right decision. Some people were knocking the ref, but
Riz, he did, didn't it? Because normally it shows the referee looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. He just took one look and just went, no chance.
Yeah, forget that. Yeah, I agree. And there was a few people on Twitter sort of knocking the referee's performance and, he's not giving us anything, he's not doing this. But I thought he dealt with them really well. He just let things flow as best as he could. And when they got petulant, from what I've heard on the grapevine, he was telling him to F off and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, which why wouldn't you? If they're going to talk to him like that, then let him give them some of their own medicine. As far as I'm concerned, not a problem with it.
Nothing up with that industrial language apart from our wonderful podcast and Facebook group. John, what was you most surprised about? Because like AnnMarie mentioned that Mbappe was a huge loss for him, but he played against us in the first leg, and I thought we nullified him pretty well.
Yeah, we did. I still can't understand why they actually put him on the bench if they weren't going to play him.
Psychologically.
Just, give somebody else. Yeah, but psychologically, it was nothing to us because, like you said, the first game, we'd nullified him. So we weren't frightened of him.
And it was good to see Di Maria getting wound up and getting a red card. Justified. Everyone was saying that Fernandinho coaxed him into it. Well, so what? Just because somebody coaxed somebody into it, don't mean to say they've got to fall for it. And
that's why Fernandinho was on the pitch.
Yeah, and
to wind him up, and it worked.
Overall, I thought we over the 2 legs we more than deserved it. 4-1, and I think I'm right in saying that's the first time PSG have not actually had a shot on target in a Champions League match.
I thought it was a fantastic sort of link between the old city and the new city. It was like Main Road and the Etihad joining forces. We had the silky skills up front, and then the dark arts in midfield, and then we had the defence, which was like never say die attitude. We weren't ever going to concede a goal. It was perfect game of football for me. I just think it was proper entertainment for City fans, PSG fans, and the neutral. It was brilliant. Yeah. I was actually on the edge of my bed.
Yeah. What pleased me, exactly what you said, Riz, like Diaz in particular, that ball what just come in and smashed him in the face. He didn't even blink,
No.
And it's got to be said as well, up front, the silky skills. I thought Mahrez had an absolutely incredible match. He really did.
I mean, AnnMarie, you must have been thinking all these months I've been thinking Mahrez was rubbish. And then all of a sudden you must have been thinking, got it wrong. I've just got it wrong.
Well, I won't say I've got it wrong.
What did you get it then, AnnMarie?
Well, I'm still, my opinion hasn't totally changed. I think he's had the 2 games against PSG, I do think he's played particularly well, but that's not to say that I want to see the same kind of performances in league games, which I'm still not 100% convinced of yet.
Well, right. That brings us on nicely to the match yesterday, where Mr. Mahrez didn't even feature. Would you have played him yesterday?
I don't know whether I would have liked us to.
Go on, say it. Go on.
I think I would have liked us to have put out as full a strength team as we possibly could have done and
is
gone
Mahrez
for the win.
included in that? Is it?
It would obviously be at the minute,
right.
And go for the win and get that league done and dusted. My concern now is, and I think somebody, I can't remember whether it was John, put it on the group, that come Friday night when we play Newcastle, we might only be 4 points ahead of United, which.
With a game in hand.
And better goal difference.
I know, but I'd rather have that league done and dusted. And
it should have been done and dusted weeks ago.
Okay,
yes, it should have been, John.
I promise you now, it'll be done and dusted in midweek when Leicester beat them.
Well, I think you could be right, Andy, but it just frustrates me when we could have done it ourselves.
Especially because it was Chelsea, a team that we're facing in the Champions League final.
Yeah, but it's like a good card player doesn't show his full hand. And Chelsea have never played City's full strength team apart from we hammered them.
At the Stamford Bridge, weren't it? Yeah.
That was a turning point in our season, really.
But I don't think any of us, unless I'm mistaken, you tell me, I don't think any of us had predicted 9 changes yesterday.
No.
Not 9, but I knew there was going to be quite a few, but not 9. Maybe too many, but
I knew there was changes. There always is with Pep, but like you said, there's not normally 9, and especially as they've got a week to rest after that game.
Yeah, but guys, if Sergio had put that penalty away, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation now. Because for me, it took 2-0 down. They weren't coming back from that. They were done and dusted, as far as I'm concerned.
John, do you think it was right of Sergio having to apologise, or?
he shouldn't have to apologise, but with the abuse that goes on nowadays on Twitter and everything else, then what could he do? That puts it to bed then, doesn't it, once he's apologised?
Well, yesterday, before the match started, it was showing Sergio coming out, and I had my mate here watching the match with me, and I was declaring my man love for Sergio, and then less than an hour later, he wasn't in me good books. I obviously forgive him now because, in my opinion, best City player
if
ever.
It wasn't for Sterling, I don't think we'd have got that first goal.
Would have missed that.
Yeah.
Well, would he? How do you know he didn't get a call from Sterling saying leave it?
You could see that after when he scored it and he was having words.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Alex, what was your thoughts on the lineup in that yesterday? A little bit baffled?
Totally baffled. Why would you play a B squad if you're facing Chelsea, one of the top teams, and you could have sealed the league, and it was also a team that you're facing in the Champions League? I was very disappointed. I mean, in the first half, we were good. I think our defense was brilliant. Attack, not really. But I think the penalty, that pathetic penalty, was the turning point, and after that, we just couldn't recover. I think just Chelsea crushed us. I mean,
the thing is, though, that team, if you watch Pep's reaction when they were about to score, he knew what was happening. He saw the building up happening. He knew what was going to come, and he was telling them to do totally opposite, and they weren't listening to him. So Pep knew that team should have won yesterday.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but if we forget yesterday, if we was going to be playing Chelsea later on today or later on tonight, do you think Pep now would, obviously we've got hindsight, he would go with that same 11 again?
Knowing Pep, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Knowing Pep, I'd say he would.
So is he a genius or just an absolute lunatic?
There's a fine line.
Yeah.
To only have Rodri in midfield was just a shocking decision.
Because you can't even cite Cancelo being a midfielder because he was just here, there, and everywhere, not necessarily the places he should be. And I think we spoke about it last week on the podcast. Cancelo's gone off the boil for a number of weeks now, and if anything, maybe he should have played Zinchenko in the middle. If he was willing to dilute that.
He should have started with at least Gundogan or De Bruyne in midfield. Because when it doesn't happen, we've got no creativity whatsoever. No balls going through the channels, things like that. And the build-up play is so slow. And it just doesn't work.
I just was really, really disappointed yesterday. As soon as I saw the lineup, I went, this is not going to end well today. And when we went 1-0 up, I was like, okay. And then we got the penalty. I was like, Pep, a genius again. And then by the end of 90 minutes, it was like that. I should have just kept to my own instincts and saying it wasn't going to end well. Because
he should have taken Mendy off a lot sooner than he did.
Mendy
had a nightmare. Him and Aki together, not a good combination.
No. Aki looked leggy for me. I thought he went leggy in the second half, and Mendy, I'm sorry. I never ever slagged City players off, but that has to be his last game for City. Surely he was terrible.
Can we really blame Aki and even Mendy for being leggy when they've not really had a lot of game time, especially Aki, because that's through injury, whereas Mendy's not been playing because of form and stuff like that. So
yeah, but we can't
blame Aki. That's if Pep sees that he's leggy, shouldn't he replace him then before it gets?
Yeah, I'm not having a go at Aki at all. I'm just saying I thought he played really well, to be honest, but then he got leggy and should have come off.
Absolutely.
But Mendy was just giving balls away. He was looking slow, lethargic. He wasn't tracking back.
It just doesn't look bothered to me, Mendy. It just doesn't look interested in it. I think he's thinking, I'll be gone in the summer anyway, so I just really, really can't be bothered.
I don't get Mendy. I don't, we've had long enough of him. And again, I don't like, and I'm not slagging him off now. I'm just pretty much saying what I saw, and I've not seen anything in Mendy since I think he had a couple of good games for us. He put too much weight on, and then he lost his speed, and now he just doesn't look interested now. And this is no nose.
The best Mendy I ever saw was when me and Paul was at Monaco, and he ripped us to shreds.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
What's happened to that Mendy? Is he just
Injured,
complacent?
I just don't think he likes the rain.
AnnMarie, can we just have a look at that Mahrez mug you've got?
it isn't a Mahrez mug,
Oh,
it's
right,
nieces and nephews.
Looks like Mahrez though.
No, they don't. Don't insult my parents like that.
So, Alex, what possessed Pep to make so many changes? Because to be honest, I've seen a mixed reaction on social media with Pep being not questioned. That's probably the wrong terminology. Pep being not even slaughtered, but I've seen people supporting Pep. He's done right. He did right yesterday, even though it was a sickening defeat for me. I just thought we could have got that done and dusted yesterday, and then he could start resting players, through the next few games.
Agreed.
Rather than rest them now and then start playing them for, towards the end, heading towards the Champions League final. Get it done, and then you can mess about with it and do whatever you want because nobody can touch us.
I just don't get why Pep has been, ignoring the Premier League for the past couple of weeks. I think, okay, the focus is on the Champions League, but why ignore the Premier League? Why wait till, the very end of the season? Why not just, win it, get it off the table, and, focus on the Champions League? I don't get it. Some people use the word arrogance. Maybe that could be the right expression. I don't know. But there is something that's in his head. We don't know.
John, do you think we should have had another penalty yesterday on Sterling?
Yes, definitely. Somebody else got a penalty today for less than that.
Was it the Rags by any chance?
Oh yeah, it was Manchester United. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the game, but I could tell there when you mentioned penalties.
Yes, it was Rat-Face Fernandez.
Yeah.
I watched the first bit, and at half time, I just couldn't be watching any further because I just knew they was going to win anyway. Scrape something. And to be honest, I'm not angry or anything about yesterday or anything like that because I know we will win the league. That's as sure as it'll be light in the morning. But I thought we should have done it yesterday. I just thought we should have wrapped it up yesterday. Even if it was a draw, I'd have took a draw yesterday. Yeah. I just thought the way we went about things was wrong. We just needed to wrap it up, Riz.
Oh yeah, I've not felt that gutted yesterday after a performance, and I was so angry at Aguero, because that was the big chance yesterday. Everyone had saw everyone. Well, we were saying, "Oh, that was a bad team he put out and everything," but that team could have been 2-0. Well, should have been 2-0 up at half time and done and dusted, and then it's done. We've not particularly played well and beat them. That sends a massive signal out that we've got our weak second team out and we've turned Chelsea over. What an incentive that is for the final. That is a massive incentive. And sometimes I wonder, is that maybe what Pep did? Putting that team out, snatching a win, and then it demoralises them because it'd have flipped the coin on its head completely. But I've never felt so angry, mate.
With regards to what Pep said post-match and stuff like that, Pep's more or less saying, I didn't want, effectively, me A team getting complacent. I didn't want being overconfident going into the final. I'm not buying into that. I'm really, really not.
I don't know. I think the good thing is that Chelsea yesterday just about beat our second string team. Just about beat them.
I think you're being a bit unfair to Chelsea, to be honest.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Let's
just
not
about-
forget that
They
they
had
had.
two
Yeah.
other goals disallowed.
Yeah, but they were
So
offside.
Well, one was
But they had
definitely
chances.
offside. The other one was marginal.
Well, marginals offside. They're both offside. We should have had a stone. We should have had a stone wall penalty at one end, and we should have scored another penalty at the other. There's 3-1.
I thought their general play, I'm with you here, AnnMarie. I thought Chelsea's general play was very, very good yesterday. I thought they went about it pretty much the same as the FA Cup semi-final.
See, I don't think it was. I mean, they've got that Werner up front, and he couldn't hit a cow's backside with a banjo.
Yeah, he's offside as often as Jesus is.
Exactly. I mean, if he could learn to be onside, he'd be bagging loads. I don't look at Chelsea and I'm worried about them. I don't think they've got anything to offer. I really don't see from that maybe set pieces or something. I just don't. I wasn't that impressed.
Our best 11 would wipe the floor with them.
Easy.
I'd like to think so, John. However, I don't like the thought of being a City fan thinking, okay, then I'll take it on the chin, that one yesterday. I'll take it on the chin that we lost because Pep's guaranteeing us a Champions League final victory.
Third time lucky.
Hey?
Third time lucky.
For me, it doesn't matter. It's almost like not just us on here, but City fans in general going, okay, then at least we're going to win the Champions League final because we're going to play the first team. So one-off game, anything can happen, Alex.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
We've still not won the Premier League yet.
No.
Yeah.
But
Everybody keeps saying it's a gimme. If United could go within 4 points out game in hand, it's still not mathematically guaranteed. And until it's guaranteed, I ain't saying anything because, listen, I've been a City fan too long. And, it'd be just our luck to get picked at the last game of the season by United. Honest,
For them, haven't
I
we?
can see it. The luck they've had, the way everything runs with this Premier League at the moment, we could. I really hate to say this, but until we've got it in the bag, mate, I ain't confident.
So that brings it back to my point. Why didn't he play his strongest 11 yesterday?
Well, I'll just keep. I agree with what you're saying, but I'll stick with my story here. Is that team yesterday we put out was proving to be good enough to beat Chelsea. We should have been 2-0 up at half time. Chelsea were done. They weren't coming back from 2-0 down. They got a spur in the second half because of the penalty miss. Our heads dropped. Theirs lifted right up, and it gave them that. It's little fine margins in football, and you can have things going one way, and then next minute something can happen. You can get a player sent off, and it can work both ways. Getting a player sent off, it's not a gimme just because a team goes down to 10 men that you're gonna win, and we've seen that. Mm-hmm. I think that team yesterday. I think we read too much into teams that are selected, and every player that plays for City is good enough to play for that team. It's a quality side with strength in depth. That team we put out yesterday was very odd. I'll give you that, but we were proving at half time that we were good enough to win that game, and we didn't. That's not Pep's fault. That's the players on the pitch let Pep down.
Yeah, I agree with most of that, but it's still, for me, it still goes down to what I said a few minutes ago. That do you think we're going to win the Champions League final just because we didn't play our strongest 11 yesterday, and we will in the final?
No, well, if we're gonna win the Champions League final, we'll win it because we're the better team, and we'll put our full strength team out, and they'll be that fired up that's the reason we'll win it. Not through anything else, not through mind games or psychology or the Champions League game will be won on the day, not the build-up, not what happens a month earlier. It'll be won on the day by the better team.
Do you agree, AnnMarie?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you think that we're going to win it the Champions League final. And I'm playing devil's advocate here because it's interesting because I've seen both sides of what City fans are saying all over social media. My stance is, well, you know my stance. I just think it was a bizarre starting 11 yesterday. But we're playing a dangerous old game, assuming that we're going to beat them in the final. Who's to say they won't be just as fired up? Saying, because Werner will probably be saying to his players, hang on a minute, they're going to be fired up, so we've got to be double fired up. It's not top trumps, unfortunately. We can't guarantee we're going to win it now. So, like Riz said as well, yeah, the Premier League's not wrapped up yet. I do believe it will be in midweek though. But that was all the more reason to go at it yesterday, because who's to say against Newcastle or any other team what we've got coming up, we don't, God forbid, we get a key injury. So it makes a mockery of resting them yesterday, in my opinion.
You only need to look at the result Newcastle got against Leicester this weekend.
And well deserved as well. Was it 4-0 up? Yeah. And it was well deserved. I watched that. So there's no gimmies in this league. It's not even at the Etihad either. It's at St James's Park. So again, the only good thing is there, possibly, it's our away record's been brilliant, but that don't guarantee us, Alex, a victory there.
I mean, we could have won the league yesterday. It was there. We were at home. We went 1-0 up. We had a penalty. Why not just, finish it? And that's what worries me when it comes to the Champions League final, especially because we're not experienced, in this stage of the competition. So yeah, on paper and throughout the season, we have been a much better team than Chelsea, but I just wouldn't take it for granted.
Okay, let me ask you something, Alex.
Go on.
You agreed with Pep's starting 11 yesterday, yeah?
Not really.
There or thereabout. Okay, then I'll go to Riz. Was you happy with his starting 11?
I was okay with it. I won't say I'm happy with it, but I'm okay with it because Pep picks the team and he knows a lot more about football than I do. So you've got to go with it. It doesn't matter what we think. You've got to go with what he does.
So against Newcastle, does he pick the same starting 11, or does he go with the first team?
I won't go with the first team. I'd be going with a couple of changes. Like John said at the beginning, I think you've got to have either or. Well, you can't have them. I won't have them both in the same team, but I'd have Gundogan. I'd probably start with Gundogan, I think.
John, you was okay with his starting lineup at the start of this podcast?
I was okay with the starting lineup apart from one player.
Go on.
Well, Riz mentioned him earlier. That's Mendy.
Yeah.
And he proved me right. First half, he weren't too bad.
So you'll be happy then, John. When we go to Newcastle, it's the same starting lineup apart from Mendy, and he'll put Zinchenko in.
Yeah.
You'd be happy with that? Even though risking possibly another defeat?
Well, we wouldn't have lost yesterday. Well, what was it yesterday? If Aguero would have put that penalty in. So why not?
But if my sister was my brother, she wouldn't be my sister.
You'd be living in Mosley.
True story. Anne-Marie, you know where I'm coming from with that. I don't mean the Mosley thing or me. If City fans are content with still okay with that starting 11, do you think they'd still be okay with that starting 11 against Newcastle next Friday?
No, I don't think they would be.
So that's the point I'm trying to make. So the mindset of those who think it's okay has changed. It will change to hang on a minute, we've got to go stronger.
I think the mindset of the fans will depend a lot on what happens during this week.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. Alex, what do you think about who would you have changed, Alex, yesterday?
Obviously Mendy. Ferran Torres. I would have played Mahrez, to be honest. I would have played Jesus instead of Aguero. as a striker, and possibly Bernardo up front. Definitely.
Yeah. So I think we've exhausted this starting 11 to death, haven't we? Because I'd like to think Pep won't do that again.
He will.
He will. He will. We know he will. So
he's been doing it for the past how many games?
Yeah.
I mean, we're acting like we're struggling to win the league, and we're by far the best team in the league.
Well, don't you think this is the problem where you're fighting on all fronts? I know it's so easy for us to sit here, and it's so easy for everybody to sit at home on the Facebook, Twitter, social media.
Yeah.
But it's all right us playing fantasy football here. He's having to make these hard decisions, and and it's all when we're talking about stuff. If you say it on social media before, oh, this is the team I would pick. Pep picks the same team and you win. You're an hero. You're fantastic. What a great internet sensation you are. If you pick a team that's completely different to what Pep picks, Pep loses, and you can then say, "Oh, he should have done this." It's all fine margins, and it's easy for us to sit here and pick holes in a team selection. I'll say it again to sound really boring, but that team yesterday should have won.
Yeah.
If we put that same team out against Newcastle, and Newcastle are nowhere near the same quality, going off what went on yesterday, we should win on paper, on fantasy football. We should beat Newcastle then, shouldn't we?
Okay, Riz.
That's not how football works, is it?
Okay, give me your starting 11 versus Newcastle.
I'd play the same starting 11. I'd have no Mendy. I'd have Zinchenko. I'd have...
11 then. That's not the same starting 11. You run down player by player. You're gonna have. We did this last week, and we got pretty close, didn't we, guys?
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's the same starting 11.
Right.
So I don't have to go through all the names. Minus Mendy, I'd have Zinchenko, and then I'd probably have. I'm just trying to think. I'd pull out of that midfield and put Gundogan in. I'd set Rodri out and put Gundogan in.
Okay. Alex, no pressure.
The whole starting lineup for Newcastle?
No, not for Newcastle, for us.
For us, yeah. All right. So Ederson, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko, Gundogan, Foden and Bernardo, Mahrez, Jesus.
Alex wants to win the league on the next game.
Alex, we unfortunately we can't start with 27 players, mate.
I just got lost there, yeah.
Yeah, right. So 1, 2,
All
3,
right.
4, 5, 6. Oh, actually, you go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
One more.
9. So we've got as far as Mahrez.
Okay, Mahrez, Jesus, or I don't want to put Raheem.
Yeah.
Okay, Raheem Sterling. That's like the only one that I have to put, even though I wouldn't normally put it, but let's go with Raheem.
AnnMarie, come on.
I think I'd be nearly inclined to agree with Alex.
I would actually, not far off. Right, so you're going with the same as Alex. Come on, John, you're Pep Guardiola. With air.
Stefan.
So you want my team that I would put out?
Yeah.
And United have won all their games. We've got to beat Newcastle.
No. Take it. No.
It's a massive factor.
I think it is a big factor.
It is.
Well,
It's a massive factor.
Hang on. I've had some toys now on the pram. I'm just looking for a toy and some pram.
Just need to buy him a dummy so he can spit it out again.
True story.
It's a huge factor, that.
Right, we've not cheated, John, so we don't want you to. So, okay, then, if United win their games now,
Yeah.
Tuesday and Thursday,
Yeah.
what team do you put out?
Walker, Stones.
Is Walker in there?
Why not?
Right back, Walker. Central defenders is Diaz and Stones.
Yeah.
Left back, Zinchenko. Midfield would be Rodri and Gundogan. Yeah?
Yeah.
De Bruyne's fully fit. I would put him in front.
Yeah.
7, 8. And then I would put Mahrez on the right, Foden on the left, and Sterling in the middle.
Sterling in the middle?
Right.
Middle.
This is how I think he'll go.
Don't be copying me either.
Trust me, I wouldn't. Trust me, I would not copy that starting lineup. Trust me. I would go with Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, and Zinchenko. That's by far our strongest defence as we go. I would go Fernandinho and Gundogan.
Gundogan, Andrew.
Who pulled me up on this last week?
Me.
Please, you're the host. Please get the pronunciations right. Martin Tyler's the same.
I go for Gundogan.
I hope people are watching the video of that. It's the way you rolled your head then.
Go for Mr. Whippy.
Yeah.
Mahrez. Foden. And Aguero. I would. Why are you all laughing? Have we frozen?
Run out.
I think
He's back. He's back.
we've frozen. So yeah, I'd go with Aguero up front, and then you all started laughing, and then it froze the screen.
It's when you mentioned Mr. Whippy.
Literally.
I think we missed half your team.
Did you?
It's same as mine, but with Aguero up front.
No,
he said.
No. The back four is the given. Walker, Diaz, Stones, Zinchenko. I go with Fernandinho, Gundogan,
Yay!
Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden, and Sergio Aguero.
So one different than me. No, two different than me.
But mine's right and yours is wrong.
Not far off mine.
That's my starting 11 is like night and day to yours.
Yeah, but what happens when you get your players injured, and then we've got a Champions League final coming, and you've got injured players? None of my players would be getting injured for the Champions League final, will they? You've not been thinking, have you? See,
what?
Not been thinking.
No, hang on. So, by that premise, Gundogan would be in your Champions League final.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be playing against Newcastle, according to yours. Zinchenko.
No. But
no.
If Gundogan gets injured, it doesn't matter because we've got Kevin De Bruyne.
They're not both going to get injured.
Zinchenko's in your.
They could kick each other.
Zinchenko's in your starting 11 for the Champions League final. And
yeah.
He's also in your starting lineup for Newcastle. So there's.
Oh, you've not asked me my Champions League final team.
You're just smart, aren't you? You're just smart.
I'll wait until I see if any players get injured before I pick my team.
Oh God! But seriously though, we started off with an absolute. Well, I did anyway. One out of the five.
Happens every time.
And this is just typical City where we bring humour to it. What's gone's gone. We can't go back to yesterday and stuff like that. It's just what we can do. And it's still in our hands anyway. Winning the league and the Champions League is in our hands. It looks like West Brom are down and out, by the way, guys. They're losing 3-1 to the Arsenal.
Hang on. Somebody said this the other week, and I went away thinking a team had won.
Yeah, somebody told us Southampton won the FA Cup semi-final.
That's right, yeah, against Leicester.
Look, there you go. You can see it for yourself live. Sorry, Sky or BT, whatever it's on. I do subscribe. Just it's not a dodgy.
You can't broadcast it live though, but it won't be live.
No, it'll be pre-recorded. In fact, I shown them pictures then before it actually happened. That's how good this podcast is.
Yeah. Futuristic.
Yeah, it's only 0-0, but I've just shown you a 3-1, John. So get your money on it now at William Hill or any other good betting agency.
Yeah, stop. You're getting paid for this, aren't you?
No,
Not yet.
So it's not all doom and gloom, is it, AnnMarie?
No.
Why is it not all doom and gloom?
Because Maris loves her.
Now, if you get me a video with Aguero saying that to me,
So tell us why it's not doom and gloom.
because we've made history this week again. Not only in us getting to the Champions League final, I think the fact that we've won 7 games in the Champions League in a row is a new record as well.
No, I agree. So, as you can see, not every one of us get a personalised message from a first team player. You should be honoured.
No, in mine would be off Mendy. Literally knocking on my door and then fill me in.
That can be arranged.
No, seriously, it's not doom and gloom. With a bit of disappointment, I do believe it'll be wrapped up before we even kick a ball, on Friday. So it's not all bad, Alex, is it?
It's not. I still trust in our squad. We have plenty of guys that have this kind of experience, winning titles and trophies every single season. I trust them.
And I tell you what, I've not forgot, Alex, because I have got a decent memory. You promised to sing us a song as well earlier.
Oh,
could be in Eurovision. This
You
the Bulgarian entry into Eurovision.
It's not
Yugoslavian.
It's not Bulgarian.
Oh, is it? He is.
It's not.
No,
No, he isn't.
it's
Who,
Netherlands, isn't
He's lying to you. I've seen him. Been out
he?
there.
Netherlands.
Sorry, what?
Listen,
It's from Stockport.
I was about to say that I can't wait for May the 17th because when the Boris announced the travel ban being lifted, I'll be able to fly out to see my good friend Alexander in Bulgaria.
Well, if you go to Bulgaria, I think you won't see me, quite easily there.
You won't be able to hide from me, mate. I know every inch of Bulgaria. I'll find you in Sunny Beach, mate. Don't worry about that.
Oh, that's a nice place. Go on.
Yeah, I see.
So
He's giving it away. Giving it away.
Alex, I applaud you changing the subject, but you promised to sing us Blue Moon tonight.
Oh, I wanted to do it at my home with no cameras on.
There's no camera.
Don't be shy. There's nobody watching.
This is not live.
There's only 5 of us.
And
It's all of you.
you won't get a new pois from us either.
Don't get what?
Whatever they say on Eurovision.
No pois.
No pois.
Royaume-Uni, no pois.
No chance. At this point, no chance. Not enough booze.
Go on, we'll
No,
do your
no.
shoe apps.
No, not enough booze. If you're bad, we'll start booing you.
There you go.
So, so Alex, right? If by the time we do our next podcast next Sunday, we'll know whether we've won the league or not by then. If we win the
Probably.
league, do we get a blue moon from you?
Yes, but I have to hire some backing vocals.
I
Is
think
that a
we should
deal?
get a Queen. We are the champions off him.
I'm sure I will be able to sort something out for
Yeah.
that occasion, Alex.
Can you be my drummer?
Because
I'll be your drummer.
because
There you go.
because we'll have Riz on drums, we'll have John on the saxophone, and we'll have AnnMarie as your backing vocals.
I'll take that.
Yeah, he will be like, take that, it's fine.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah, what's your role?
uh,
Band manager?
No, you definitely need audience, don't you?
You'll be like Pete Waterman.
I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, Riz.
What was that producer called? That American one, that Wall of Sound bloke.
Just to be fair, going back to Pete Waterman, he lives not too far from John there. He lives in Newton Willows.
He lives literally 500 yards away from where I used to live.
Yeah, he's an absolute diamond of a fella. I used to see him every single day for the job I used to do. No, that sounds really wrong, doesn't it?
Was he an escort?
He's a Ford Capri. I used to collect stuff from his office for his business, and what a diamond of a bloke he is. See,
Goulburn Road.
Yeah. Right. Wrap it up, guys. Not
You
doing
got a bell. I'll ring that bell now. Ding ding. Name dropper.
Well, we're on here with Andre Agassi as well, aren't we? Is it Andre or Andre? Well,
It's Andre.
is it
With your pronunciation, yeah.
Andre.
And I promise, from this day forward, Mr. Gundogan will be Mr. Gundogan.
Thank you.
Under one.
Yeah. Right, guys. Brilliant getting back to reality for me anyway, because to be fair, I was the grumpy one. It's not like me that.
As always.
Victor Meldrew there.
I don't believe it. Just don't believe it. So we will catch up again.
Am I missing something?
What?
This venue change.
Oh yeah. Go on, John. Go on.
Right.
Hot
It's looking.
off the press list from John.
Yes,
John
the
Baker
press this.
News.
It's looking like the Champions League final is going to get moved to Wembley. It's a good thing because we can all go. The only bad
If we
thing
can get a
is,
ticket.
yeah, we should be able to get. I think there's 8,000 allowed from each. 6,000 there is from each club.
Yeah,
as,
was
long
that?
as long as it's through club organised travel, we get 6,000.
Yeah, but who's gonna 6,000's not even season ticket holders, is it? So how are they gonna? Do we know how they're gonna work out the 6,000 yet?
I have no idea yet. It could be a ballot or it could go off points. I think it'll go off points myself. But it's also going to be
That's unfair.
You'll have to be in the Champions League, cup
Ticket.
team as well.
I'll be watching it in my little man cave here, then, won't I?
Why?
Because I don't subscribe to the Champions League scheme.
Could you not? Can we not get you a media pass?
You can get me any pass you want.
Well, if we get hold of Alexander's microphone, stick MCFC, exactly there it is, MCFC9320 on it, TV.
That could work.
You're in?
Good.
Or we could go as Das BBC.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves this. I don't care who you work for, but you're still not coming in.
Riz, that is the best Welsh accent I've heard in a long time.
I know, well, I thought it was going to be at Cardiff, to be honest.
Right, yeah, so it potentially is going to be Wembley. 6,000 fans in per club. That's, for me, that is the only sensible thing to do, because Istanbul is in lockdown. It just, even before it was in lockdown, it didn't make sense to have two English clubs travelling all that way just for the sake of travelling there for a Champions League final. Do you agree?
I agree, yeah.
100%. I don't think anybody could disagree, to be honest.
Hey, that's good. Everyone's agreed with me. Not right, AnnMarie?
Yeah. Don't get used to it, though.
No, I'm sure I won't. Right, guys. It's been lovely chatting to you all, as always. Hopefully, this time next week when we do the podcast, we'll be champions. I'll be playing We Are the Champions.
Will you have some music lined up?
I'll have some music lined up. And then we'll have Alex singing Blue Moon.
Can't wait for that.
With AnnMarie.
Doing the shoe ups.
Don't let me down.
That's a different song. That was by ELO. I think you'll find, Alexander.
Hello.
Don't let me down, Bruce.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I'm going before this starts going into a music trivia.
So, do I need my drum kit ready for next week then?
You need your drum kit and
There's a piano over there.
There you go.
You can play Blue Man on piano.
is it a piano? Or are you going to be playing with that organ, John?
Organ. No.
He only plays with his organ at a weekend.
Right. On that note, I
Yeah,
shall
it's
catch
time
you
to
all
go.
next week, guys. Pleasure as always.